So in section 9, we're going to talk about perimeter and area. And in the text, they talk about perimeter, and again, perimeter is the distance around something, like you're walking a perimeter. And they start giving you the formulas. And so in the text, you'll find all the formulas that you're going to need. Perimeter of a rectangle, then we'll start talking about other shapes like triangles. We get to circles in DMA 020, but we're dealing with perimeter and then area. So area is the inside, perimeter is the outside. Also, whenever you're dealing with units, perimeter, like if I'm measuring something in feet, the perimeter is going to be in feet. If I'm looking at area, area is the inside, so area is a unit squared because you're multiplying two things with units. So you would have a feet squared for area, or whatever the units are. So there was a couple problems I wanted to look at in the homework. Some of them I just want to talk about, and I'll do a couple of them on a supplement. So if you're looking at number 6, when you're finding the perimeter, again, that's the distance around. And again, they gave the units as meters, so be aware of that. They've already given you what the units are, but it's just meters because we're doing perimeter. A lot of people are going to plug these numbers in and just add them all up. But if you do that, you're going to notice that you're missing this piece right here. Right? We know what this length is. Mine on this particular problem is 10. We know that y is 4, and that's 4. So when we're dealing with a whole bunch of right angles, we know that the length of this, and this is going to be equal to 10, because this is 10. So don't forget about adding in that piece. So if this is 4, and I have to add up to 10, that means this piece is, and hopefully you said good. Another one to look at again, square inches are in 1 square foot. Well, you have to know how many inches are in a feet. And we're Americans, so we know that. If I ask how many centimeters are in a meter, we might get lost, but inches in a feet, we would be good. So how many square inches are in 1 square foot? And again, if you visualize a square being 1 foot by 1 foot, now it's 12 inches by 12 inches. And then use that formula, like in example 5, to help you figure out what the square inches are. We get to deal with triangles. Again, they're giving us the pieces. When you're finding area of a triangle, its base and height is what you're dealing with, 1/2 base times height. So this x value for this particular problem, like that's just extra information. You don't need it. So it's half the base and the height. Or base times height divided by 2. And so in this course, DMA 010, we're not dealing with fractions or decimals, so everything should come out nice and neat. We have composite figures. These are when we're grouping figures together. So this one has a rectangle and a triangle. So if you were to find the total shaded area, and if you had a triangle and a rectangle, you use the 2 formulas that you have, but then you would add your areas. There's an example down here where you're not adding your areas, you're actually getting rid of this triangle, right? So you want to find this pink area, I believe it's pink, and then we want to get rid of the white area that's in the triangle. So instead of adding this time, we'd be subtracting an area. So just make sure that if something's added to a figure, you're adding those areas. If we're getting rid of it, again, you're subtracting. And one more, and this one I'll probably work out in the supplement. If the area of the rectangle is 180 miles squared and its length is 9 miles squared, you're solving for another piece. You know that length times width is equal to the area for a rectangle. So if we're getting a little bit of information, we're going to be figuring later on in a different DMA, we talk about solving, but we're going to figure how to find what the width is in this particular problem.